Welcome to World Area Studies Western Hemisphere, Week 16. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Let's take a look at the calendar for this week. Also make sure you're checking your grades. Look over all the work for the week on Monday, and then look at the flow chart on page 1 of the weekly folder. Highlight the words in the quiz that may be new to you. On Tuesday, go on a virtual field trip to Ellis Island. You may want to take notes for the quiz. Open the discussion and look at the links in the discussion. Make your post in the discussion. Review your notes or go back to the website to refresh your memory on Wednesday. Take the field trip quiz. Also, remember, if you have missed CMAS, Wednesday is the day for makeups. If you sign up to go to the Rockies game, I will see you there. Thursday, we don't have school because many teachers are going to go to the Capitol building to let our representatives know how they feel. If you agree with them, feel free to join them. Get involved in politics a little bit yourself. You're never too young. All right, so this would be a great day to get some work done. You don't have to, you're not required to, but just like you would do homework on the weekend, why don't you catch up on Thursday? On Friday, return to the discussion and respond to 2 people. Finish the quizzes if you need a little extra time on those. And then over the weekend, if you're all caught up, have a great weekend. And otherwise, take some time to get some work done. We're getting really close to the end of the semester. All right, so let's take a look at what that stuff looks like. So you'll click on Materials, and you'll click on Course Content. Remember, if you just click on the links on the side, you're not going to see all the files in all the pages in the folder. And this week there are 2 things that you wouldn't see by clicking on the links. All right, so we're looking at exploring geographic issues, and this is important because you are going to be doing a final project in a couple weeks where you're going to get to pick your own issue and kind of make a presentation about it. So this is kind of a flow chart of when you're researching a topic, the things you want to think about. Some things that you might look at would be texts, primary sources like postcards or photographs, videos, photographs from the time period, videos, maps, globes, charts. Something like Google Earth is an air photo, or images, graphs, and diagrams. These would be some of the questions you would ask yourself. Like, why is this particular issue happening in this location? Remember that collecting information from multiple sources leads to more informed ideas before you come up with your solution. So you do your research, you make a hypothesis, you do your research, you answer your hypothesis. Just like in science, but with social studies words. And then once you've done your research and asked yourself some of these questions, then you ask a little deeper, like how does the issue affect people politically, economically, socially? How do they make connections to other places? And then when you present it, you consider the interdependence of people and how it relates to individuals, groups, or nations. And then, so once you're finished looking at that flow chart, I want you to kind of break it down. And you are going to highlight for me the words that you do not recognize. So you might not recognize the word geographic issue, so you would click both of those. Or you might not know what interpret means. Or maybe you don't know what a source is, or perspectives. Make sure that you read through these, and anything that you're not sure you're familiar with, go ahead and click on it, and I will review it. There's no right or wrong answer for this. This is all based on you, so you will get points on being truthful and doing the work. Same thing here. Maybe you don't recognize the word analyze, or occupying, or economically. Find words that don't make sense to you. Maybe you don't know what pose means, or interdependence. That's one of our new vocab words, so I wouldn't really expect you to know that word. And then this last little bit of information, maybe you don't know what informed is, or potential is. And then I want you to answer the question, what do you think is meant by geographic issues? So now I'm going to see if you could kind of come up with your own definition, even if you don't know what the word is. Same with perspectives, interdependence, and then what do you think is meant by posing potential actions, solutions, or issues? And tell me why you think collecting information from multiple sources is important. And then what do you think identify, collect, interpret, and analyze information about geographic issues means? So basically, why are we doing this? All right, so after you have done that, you can move on to the virtual field trip. So a couple different links in here that might just be fun for you to look at. This isn't part of the assignment, but you can click on it and just read a little bit about it. There's different activities here. If this is a topic that interests you, you can look through it. But anyways, iCivics defines immigrant as a person who travels to another country in order to live and work there. So you've probably heard the United States be called a melting pot, and that's because of all the different cultures we have here from all over the world. And they brought their cultures with them. So many years ago, these people would arrive and be processed through someplace called Ellis Island in New York. And there is a museum there now. They no longer use that building for immigration processing. So what I want you to do is watch this video. It's a 2 minutes and 50 seconds. So a short video kind of talking about the museum. They've kind of updated it in the last couple of years. So it's different than if you might have gone in like the 90s or something. Or, well, you weren't alive yet. But if like I had gone in the 90s. So after you've watched the video, click on the link and it will take you to the National Park Service website for the museum. And then you can kind of just see the different things that they have in the museum by clicking on the pictures. So look through the pictures, read about what each of the exhibits are, see if you can tell what's happening in the pictures, and do that for each of the floors, first floor, second floor, third floor. And then there's a special exhibit page. It's not working. There you go. I want you to tell me about this page, and I ask you what's happening in the special exhibits. You can tell me one exhibit is closed for deinstallation, and then the other exhibit in the Bob Hope Memorial Library Gallery is an art exhibit that's happening based on students who've submitted their art pieces. So there's your tip on one of your questions if you're watching the video. And if you go back to, this is the only page that doesn't have a back button. Also for extra credit in the quiz, it asks if you clicked on any of the other links. You can click on naturalization test, and it will take you to the test that people actually have to take to become a citizen of the United States. See if you could do it. Alright, okay, so back to the field trip. Another link that you could look on is if you click up here, plan your visit, things to do. You can, if you're looking at any of these other links, then just tell me about them in the extra credit. The more you tell me, the higher your score will be. The more links you check out, the higher your score will be. Check it out. Alright, so then after the virtual field trip, there is a quiz where you will need to tell me quiz answers. So make sure you have read the previous page and watched the video or the Ellis Island Museum. So the links are there just in case you didn't see the page in the folder. Start the new attempt and you will see the questions. So some of the questions are things that you learned from the video and then a multiple choice. You might click 1, you might click 2, you might click all 4. But make sure you're paying attention, and this is why taking notes would be good. So you'll have a question, multiple choice question, and then tell me something interesting that you learned. Fill in the blanks. Try and do your best to spell the words correctly because it will count you wrong if you don't. And then 6, again, tell me about the second floor, some questions about the third floor, then you tell me. Question 10, that's what I was just talking about with the Bob Hope art exhibit. And then the extra credit question if you're looking through the extra links. After the quiz is the discussion. And do you know your story? So, April 17th, which was just about a week ago, is actually National Ellis Island History Day, Family History Day. And that's because in 1907, there was a record 11,747 people who were processed for immigration through Ellis Island that day. This is a postcard I found on the internet from Ellis Island, and somebody's telling their story. The author and professor Vincent Canato says that this was probably because the U.S. was experiencing a really strong economy. It was at the height of the Industrial Revolution, which you'll learn about in 8th grade, and factories needed cheap immigrant labor. So people really wanted to come over and be part of the American dream. So read through the Time magazine article. It's pretty short. It's only a couple paragraphs, but it's pretty interesting. And then click on the immigration stories of yesterday and today. This website is also pretty interesting. You can explore Ellis Island even further than the National Park website. Again, if that's something that interests you, you can listen to some oral history stories. If you're done with that, then what I really want you to focus on is meeting the young immigrants. So these are a little bit more modern stories, but you can click on each of the names of these people, and they tell their story, a little bit of how they came to America. And you can flip through. There might be more than one page. You can watch a video by that person. You can look at some information about the data collected. You can go by 50-year periods and see like where the different countries came from. So back at the beginning, it was mostly Europeans, and now it's all over the place. And then there's another virtual field trip. It's a 30-minute video that's up to you. You don't have to watch that, but if it's something that interests you, go ahead. And then what I want you to do after you have read the young immigrant stories, I want you to share your own story. Do you know your story? Has your parents ever told you? If you've not ever heard where your family comes from, go ahead and ask them. Get your parents involved in your homework. And then share it with the class. But remember, let's be respectful to each other. Some people have different stories, and that is okay. All our stories are special and unique to each of us. And then I shared my story. So I was born in Colorado, but my distant relatives came to America a long time ago. I know that I've got ancestors from England, Sweden, Germany, France, Wales, Ireland, Denmark, and probably lots of other places. And hopefully someday I'll get to find out just exactly what by doing one of those DNA tests that they keep advertising on TV. But I know that I had ancestors that fought in the American Revolution and some that came to America on a boat. So I know that my family has been in America for a long time. Obviously not as long as some Native Americans, as they were here first. But so that's part of my story. And if you're interested in genealogy research, I can kind of point you in ways to do that if you want to help your parents figure out where they were from, because maybe they don't know either. Not everybody does. So, all right, that is the discussion. Don't forget to reply to 2 people. I'm looking more for your post for this discussion. So most of your grade will come from that for this one. So no limits on how many words, but please do reply to 2 people in a friendly fashion. All right, if you have any questions about this week, please please let me know. Remember, here's my email. Although, don't use this if you're sharing a Google Doc with me. The late work form and my phone number. You can also Schoology message me if you would like. All right. So, again, I'll see you on Wednesday if you're at the Rockies game. Otherwise, have a great week.